gonna sneeze. I had to sneeze, guys. Whew. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do is actually start this first video. And it's just what we're gonna make first, and then we'll get into the fun part. Okay, we are gonna get started. I am gonna put this on my Super Bat banding wheel system. Put the little peg in. I'm gonna do it this way. Put the template on here in the hole. Did I hit the hole? I didn't hit the hole. Hit the hole, Sharon. There we go. And I'm gonna put this on the top. Okay, this will keep this from sliding around. And I took my little piece of clay that I had. This is B-Mix. I cut it in about a 7 by 7 inch square. And then I'm going to compress it a little bit here. Always, always. I know you get tired of seeing it, but it is a staple of what we must do. Whoops. And if you stick, whoa, look what I did. That's okay. Come right back over the top. It's gone. No problem. Okay. So I am just going to stick this right over the top of this and lightly press. This is going to go really, really fast. So I'm going to go across the top here, and then I'm going to take my, ow, poked myself with my needle tool. I'm going to take my red rib, and I'm going to simply come around, and I'm holding it very lightly, and now I'm going to flip it after I clean it. I'm going to flip this, and I'll bring this around because I want my egg pattern to show. And remember, these are so rounded that I can come around here like this. Whoops. I can come around here like this, and I won't crack or crease my edges because they are so rounded. We're good. Okay, now I'm just going to take a very lightly damp sponge and go across this just to get all the little crumbs I created off. That's it. And then I'm going to take a needle tool and I'm going to simply come in and spin this around like this, and that's it. Now these are so little, I'm not putting a foot on these because these are just going to be little fun trinkety type dishes, little eggs. Wipe this around, and then I'm going to show you that these are so small. Now you can do a couple things with this. Oh, I stuck my little peg in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to wiggle this, and because my peg stuff, it popped right out. And I can leave it just like that to give me the straight sides, or I can also pop that back in and press this up and cut around, but to make it really straight. But I kind of like the way that looks. So what I'm going to do, where I stuck my finger on it, and you see I took that straight out. I'm just going to come around here like this. And kind of pushing up against that side. Oops. And look at that. And look at the depth of that. I am going to call that good. Now, you notice. Okay, so I know you've seen me make an egg before, and you'll probably see me make an egg again. But do you see how quick that is? With that little lip template, it just cut around, and because they're so small, you can pop those right out. But it's what we're gonna do next that is brand new. Sort of. I put a sneak peek out, months ago, months and months ago. And then I never had a chance to get back to it. So I am going to show you some Easter egg fun. How many of you still color Easter eggs? If you still color Easter eggs, put it in the comments. Well, type it in there then, Mr. Wilson. He's over there going, I do. We loved having the grandkids over and doing Easter eggs. We have not done that in a few years. But, yeah, the grandkids think they're too old now. They're in high school. But we are going to color these Easter eggs like you would color a regular Easter egg. You know how they do the new marbling, the new swirl, and the this and that? Well, again, if you remember, I showed you some eggs. I think it was 4, 5, 6 months ago. I don't know. Time is running all over the place. But let me show you. Okay, here we have a tray full of eggs. Look at these fun things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 eggs. 6 eggs. I've had several people ask for me to put a little bundle together of multiple eggs so that you could do multiple work. So I will do that. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so I will put out on the website a bundle for the eggs. You really still only need the one lip template because you can put template forms, cut, flip it over, leave the form in it, template form. So you only need one template. You don't need to buy a whole bunch of that stuff. And let me move this out of my way so I can sit on this. And whoa. That's still shorter than the one I'm used to. Let me pull myself down here a little bit. There you go. Okay, so this egg we made a while back. It needs to be brushed out. It's actually kind of dirty. I did an egg with an egg on top to get that look with the template. And this has been bisque fired. This is speckled buff, Laguna speckled buff. So this will turn a creamy beigey color with speckles. So we're going to glaze this as well in a while. But these little eggs and the little whimsical hearts, these two have been asked to bundle these so you can get like a 5-pack or a 10-pack. So I'll put these out there that way for you. Okay, so what we're going to do with these, we may or may not have an moment. We may have a moment, but we're going to play. We are going to play with the glazes. Now I've showed you a couple. Let me go grab these. Okay, so what we're going to do today is do some glaze pouring into these Easter eggs and see what we can come up with to make some really cool eggs. No stencils, just glazing, pouring, and that kind of thing. So I did show you these quite a while back. Look at all of this good stuff right here. I did these, oh my gosh, 5, 6 months ago. I did this one, and the odd thing is, see that big crack across here? That actually looks like it's just the glaze that cracked. It does not look like it was the clay whatsoever. And look at that. Look at these. Look how cool this is. Yeah, I think I did these like six months ago, long time ago. But I'm actually going to grind that a little bit and put a little more glaze in there and fire it again, because this has only been bisque fired. It's never been actually glaze fired. These are the stroke and coats out of bisque. Isn't that cool? So we are going to play with these today, and I have different glazing going. Didn't need to see the rest of that because I had already told you that up front. So let's get, how many of you have ever just poured the glazes over? Let me know in the comments if you've done this. I will tell you that, well, the video is going to explain how to do it, so I'm not going to go into it. But I will tell you a big key is the white base, and adding white in your glaze mixture so that you it kind of disperses the color out and doesn't turn it to mud. Because I have had some turn to mud and have learned how to make these work. So let's get into starting one of these. Okay, now I have another one that's been done in white. And so what I'm going to do is take some of these into this little compartment, and I'm going to stick a little bit of white in the middle. And I'm going to do a little orange beside that. Try to fill them about the same fullness. And where's my green? I'm going to try to do green in here. Again, I want them about the same fullness. And let's put cantaloupe on this end. Cantaloupe, and then we're going to put blue over here by the orange. And I got white in the middle to kind of break it up. Now, see all that? About the same amount in each one. They are thinned down. And again, these are just little pallets. So I'm going to watch this. Okay, I couldn't resist pausing and answering that comment, Jen. What the heck is that contraption? You can get those on Amazon. You can get them little, you can get them big. And I can't remember what it's called. I'm going to have to look it up. Shame on me. But it's going to be in your material list as well. But it's really made for like acrylic pours and things like that. I have followed and done those for a long time. But doing it with glaze is different in the fact that, and you'll get this in your class, but it's different in the fact that you need to water the glazes down. If you do it with them as is, it'll be way too thick, and you have to be kind of quick with it because you don't want the glaze to be too much and too thick in the bottoms, because then, like that one egg you saw of mine, I believe that was just too much glaze and too thick, and the glaze actually cracked. The clay was not cracked at all. So again, you got to water it down, and you got to kind of pour quickly. And if you do too much of the rocking and a rolling with your dish, which you'll see me do in a minute, you can also turn it muddy. Back to the video, but I had to go to that contraption comment. Okay, now I have another one. Till I get pretty much every one of them about up to, that blue's trying to hurry. Let's get the rest of them up there. I'm covering the ones that, now I've got them all. I cheated, I covered them. I've got them all ready to pour. So we're just going to do some, let's try a little drizzle style on this one. Here we go. Here they come out. there's that one. Now, if I take this and swirl, a lot of blue, so I'm going to go to the blue side because I don't want the blue to cover everything. Now, I want excess out of here and come down and swirl. Okay. Now, this is going to take some practice to get this where you want it. Stuck my finger in it. Okay. So I'm going to clean that off. And I'll put the white back on there. Now, where'd that little bitty brush go? Take my little bitty brush and I'm going to swirl some of that into there. Look at that. I don't know if you can see how really gorgeous this is. All right. Now I will put cottontail back on here. Very carefully, because I had to wipe it off. That's okay. It's gonna run and it's gonna spread. Now, I could also, oh, I have it everywhere. I could also do this. Where's my white? Well, actually, we're gonna do that on the next one. Okay, let me show you what this looks like. It's pretty darn cool. Look at that. So, set that one down. Grab another one. Let me wipe this off because we're going to go a more absolute way on this one. Okay. That glaze on the bottom of that. All right, so there's this one. So let's do this. Let's get the white cottontail. Are your brains going crazy on this? Are you seeing all kinds of fun to be had with this? Okay, let's do this. All right, this is a big one. I'm going to do this. Put down some beads. Ooh, that one went down just a bit before I was ready. Okay, there's Tutu Tango. I think we're going to put some green over that. Make sure my camera was on for this. Okay, there's that one. And I think I'm actually gonna come back in with a little white on top of this. Okay, white. There's that. All right, let's take this. Okay, now I will tell you, when I did that, I was gonna take the end of my brush and grab those little dots and swirl them into all kinds of things. But I got the harebrained idea instead. I was gonna take my blow dryer and blow them all over the place. It didn't work. So I redid that one and I'm leaving it just the dots to see how fun that fires. So let's look at another example. Oh, and by the way, Melody asked if these eggs were bisque fired already. No, they weren't. I made the eggs. I let them set for, I don't know, about 45 minutes. And with the stroke and coat, I can put it right on and bisque it with the stroke and coat on. So no, they were not bisque fired. Now, I put a white base, and then if I put things on there and totally mess it up, I just take my wet sponge, wipe it all out, and do it again. That's the beauty of this. You're not stuck with anything. So let's look at some more examples. Okay, we are gonna now take this one. That one went. Let's do this. Get these to come back up. I'm gonna hold my thumb across this till they all get up there. And I'm going to pour this way. I'm going to hold my finger across that blue because I don't want it overwhelming everybody. Okay. Now I did drop a drop there and hit that there. What do you think of that? So, if I just might have to do a little spot. Oops, I don't really want the blue in there. There we go. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and give it a few swirls. And that one looks really cool. Okay, so let me show you this one. Look at this. That looks like a regular Easter egg. And I'm not keeping it too thick in there. You notice I'm not pouring a whole lot. So we have that one. We have the kaleidoscope. And I don't have anything over here at the edge, so I'm going to scooch some of this over to the edge. Okay, we have that one. We have that one. This is the first one that poured with all the blue. And then we have this one that I really swirled. Now, it looks muddy from down there. If it fires the way it looks up close, it's going to be gorgeous. I'm going to leave it because it could fire gorgeous. It could fire to mud, but we are going to see. So there's 4. I think maybe I'm going to do one more because I have leftovers. I'm going to move these. And this is just you got to play. Yeah, you got to play because who knows what you're going to get. I really do. Oops. I really do think that laying down this white or a light base helps. Now this one, I'm going to use up what I have on the glazes. And I'm going to pour that pour into the middle and let it run out and just see what happens. And I'm going to do it while this is fairly wet. And the bottom here, I'm going to do fairly thin because that glaze pour is going to be in there. Okay, so we're going to take this one. I'm going to let this come up. See how I'm holding my finger over that to get them all to come up to the same? And I'm watching this. Woo! All right, I'm going to stop the blue. Okay, there's that. Again, it's a play. It's a play day. Okay, I really kind of like that. But I'm wondering, because you know me, I got to go outside the box. Golly, should I just leave it alone? I'm going to leave it alone. I'm actually just going to leave this one alone. Look at this. Look at that. And I did it quickly so it wasn't too thick down there, I hope. So we've got that one. That one. Kaleidoscope. This one. And do you see a trend here? From first to second to third to fourth to fifth, how playing with them, we got better and better. And I so want to do something with this one, but I'm so afraid because it's really pretty up close and in person. It's gorgeous. I just don't know that you can see the gorgeousness of this. I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna leave it. There's 5 different pours. Okay. Did you notice that those 5 pours were still from that little bit that was in that the little cup? In the videos in the class, I actually have a little plastic cup, like a Dixie cup, but it's plastic. It's about this tall, and it's got a little edge at the bottom that I filled with water and then added my glazes to that and then poured those in. Oh, by the way, there is you'll be getting an email soon about we're going to create another Facebook group, the Slab to Fab Society, but not FM for founding members. It will be the regular group that when we do open, we will do our lives in there. You guys will be part of that group. You will also stay in this group. Nobody else will ever join this group. But you will join that group, because when that opens, we'll have more people and we'll do things in that group. But I will still be coming and doing just special lives with just you founders as well, because you guys are always going to be my founders. And I also do plan on opening up. However, I am not going to let it get very big. I like the smallness, and they will never get your code. Your code is a deeper discount than anybody else will get. So don't share that in that group. That is your private code for being founding members. So that's another thing. You'll get an email on it before we do that. And I do have a Zoom scheduled to do a build along that we'll be doing. It's just going to be a fun little project. Just bring a little ball of clay and your fingers, and that's probably all you're going to need. And I don't know if I mentioned it here or in the other group, but we supply a lot of product for our local ceramic supply company. And we went and took a bunch of product the other day, and I was, desperate. I was down to 25 pounds of clay. And so we were going to get our normal. We usually get about 500 pounds. They had none. They had no B mix and had not been able to get any. And I was like, oh no, I was in a panic. So I got some porcelain. And what else did we get?
B mix.
Oh, so they have their own creation called T-Mix, which is their creation, I believe, of B-Mix. So I got some of that to try, just for now. But I did find another clay supplier here locally that I called and said, do you have any B-Mix? They had 350 pounds. I said, I'll take it. So I went and got it. And so I'm hoping that will hold me until we get B-Mix back. Otherwise, we're going to have to make a change. Sharon, let's see, who's asking me that? Nancy Jean. Sharon, on your bunny plate with the blue, what did you do to achieve that? You posted it today. I'm going to sneeze, guys. That was actually done with Speedball underglaze. That was aqua. Put it on, sort of watered down, and then wiped it back, and then dipped it in a clear glaze. Or you could brush on a clear glaze. And then the pink one was pink rose Speedball underglaze, done the same way. Put it all on, wiped it back, dipped it in clear. And that's all it was. And they did turn out gorgeous. In the kiln right now is what we did last week, the 3-tier cake stand. That should hopefully, that was put in first thing this morning. So I'm hoping we'll be able to get that out fairly quickly, because we're expecting sleet and ice again in the morning, and I need to get my kiln covered. But that is in the kiln right now. So hopefully that will come out very soon. These little eggs dry so quickly. I do have plastic over them right now, though, because of the amount of glaze that was in there. I kind of want it to dry slower. I don't want that glaze to crack. But I'm imagining by the time our ice leaves, I'll be able to put them in a bisque fire. And yeah, hopefully that'll be at the new shop. We will have the new place set up. Oh, I do have a video of our first load down there I should post. Let's see, Rhonda, what was the pins you used? For the bunnies? I'm assuming for the bunnies. Oh, was it the cake stands, Rhonda, or the bunnies you're asking about? Let me know which one you're asking about, and then I can tell you. And yes, I know there's a delay, so I will wait for that. Any other questions? Did you just let Rhonda, you said yes, but was it for the bunnies or was it for the cake stand? So put in the comments bunnies or put in the comments cake stands, so that I know which one you're talking about, because me and my infinite wisdom said two things. So I wasn't being very smart about that, was I? We're excited. We're sad. Very sad to be leaving our home. It's a wonderful home. Big house, lots of land, fishing, hunting, all of that. But it's time. It is time to change our lifestyle and yeah, Mr. Wilson just said, time to write a new chapter in our book. And a new chapter we are writing. And the art on the lake claycations that we're planning, you're going to want to come. You are going to want to come. And bring your significant other. It is going to be an art vacation like you've never seen before. We are so excited. It was the bunnies. Okay, the blue bunny was my Morning Blooms rolling pin. And the pink bunny is my Lace Flowers rolling pin. Both of these rolling pins are from, I think, oh my gosh, some of my first a couple years ago. So they're probably down in the bottom of the list.
Lace, we brought Lace out at Clayton West 3 years ago.
Yeah, the lace one, the pink bunny, was 3 years ago. That's right. Mr. Wilson just said that was I debuted it at Clayton West 3 years ago. And then Morning Blooms, that's been a while as well, but they're fabulous textures. We might be going to Houston or Dallas. Who is saying that?
Penny Paul.
Penny Paul. When, Penny? Okay, so
We're at DFW.
So Penny, Houston is, gosh, five-ish or so hours away, but Dallas, very, very close. So if you come to Dallas, you need to come and see us. Houston, you probably won't want to come 5 hours one way to see us, and I understand. But Dallas, you're going to be really close.
I want to come see me.
Yes.
Good that she's not bringing her husband.
Heck no, he's not coming with me. Oh. We can keep him busy because he could do a build a knife session with Mr. Wilson, or he can do a fishing guide trip with our resident fishing guide, Jeff, or just go walk the docks and fish, or go sit out on the houseboat, or all kinds of fun stuff. So we could keep those other halves occupied. But if you want a vacation from the other half, you are welcome to come alone.
Yes, you can bring Henry.
It is a dog-friendly marina, so you can bring Henry. Yes, you can. All right, well, I think I have gotten, where in Texas are you? Who is asking that so I can address you personally?
Penny was that.
Oh, that was Penny. Okay. Yeah, we are in north of Fort Worth. If you Google Eagle Mountain Lake, that's where we are. Right up by Eagle Mountain Lake. We're about 8-9 miles from there in our current home, but we will be right there in West Bay Marina when we move. So Eagle Mountain Lake will bring you to us. All right, guys, I am going to call it a night. I hope you're excited for this class to come up. Do you want to see more quick and easies, stepping it up, or getting adventurous? Be sure and put that in the comments too. And then I'll watch for those and gear classes that direction. I have a laundry list bigger than I can fit on the screen of the classes I'm working on. And I mean, I'm going to town now that I got the kiln where I could just, that baby is firing constantly. This load out, this load in, this load out, this load in. Stepping it up. Okay. All right, guys. See you next time. But it's really kind of a, you don't want it to be too runny so that the glaze burns out, but you don't want it thick because I'm sure that's why my glaze cracked on the first one. And as you can see, that little bit of glaze I poured in those cups went a long way. And did you see how on one pour, I thought, oh man, that blue was just too overpowering. So on the next pour, I stuck my finger over the hole so that the blue couldn't come out. So you can kind of stick your finger over the ends and kind of pick and choose what colors come out. Now this next video, I was just trying to use up the last of what was in there, and I was just going to throw it on and stick it over on the side, not expecting anything. So I didn't start out on camera, but when I saw what it did, I had to show you. So I did jump on camera real quick and show you this one. So let me show you real quick. Okay, had to come on real quick because I was just taking the rest of my pour and just going straight up and down this egg. But it came out so cool that I'm going to do it again and see if I can get this to blend together. But I wanted you to see what I was doing. I'm just using the rest of this. And look at that. There. Oh, let me come down in this corner. So I needed to come in and show you this because it was turning out too cool. And I wanted you to see. I'm going to take my finger in here and wipe that. Okay. And then I got to put a little white where I just rubbed it off. There. Now, look at that one. Oh my. So here we go. Look at that. Okay. We will see. We will see what happens with these. Wasn't that cool? I just took the leftovers and just poured straight up. And I think I was kind of doing this. Straight up. So, and I did what, 5 eggs with what was in there. So it doesn't take a whole lot. I think, do you have any questions on that so far? Have you done this at all? Are you excited to try it? I'm going to show you just kind of the final eggs of what I did on this part, but there's other glazing in the rest of this. And here are our Easter egg pours. Very, very different, all of them. It's all on how you pour it. And it's going to be all on how how they fire. Let's see if I can get this any closer. Some very gorgeous, gorgeous eggs if they fire as beautifully as they look. We will see. Okay, so did you guys notice that one in the middle? I couldn't stand it. I had to go back. I couldn't leave it. I was afraid it was going to fire just like muddy, and I didn't want to just throw it out. So if you can see over that one in the middle, I actually took even what was left in that cup and really shook it out and shook a little row, another little row, and then shook a little on the outside and used the end of my brush. Look at Jen. Yes, she said she caught that. You went back in and added. I did. I was too afraid. So I added to it, and I think it's going to make it better and not so just boring. Now, this one, this is that, the egg in the egg. How many of you have tried that? Our dual drapes, the way they stack. You, who was it? I believe it was Vicki Van Reel, who just put a picture of the stack, and she did like the whole stack, like my heart, the big heart where I stacked 3 together. This one was just 2, and I think Vicki did 1, 2, 4. She did all 4, I believe. And because these dual drapes are rounded and they're not a true stack, you can do this, and it's so gorgeous. But this one I did a long time ago, but I took leftovers and poured in here, and we will see what that fires to inside with all of this speckled buff. Now, I want to, hold on a second. Can you see on this picture of the eggs, not the one at the very top, but the one that's all speckly kind of over, I don't know if that's going to be your left or your right. But that one is one that I did through one of those little sink drains. And it came out looking like a kaleidoscope. It's really cool. So I can't wait to see how that fires. And you'll see that in the class. I actually did that one through one of those little sink drains. So that was pretty cool. Jen, you cracked me up. You caught me going back. I just couldn't leave it. I just could not do it. So that is just excerpts of what I had tonight. I would love to try to make it tie-dye. Yeah, one of those actually looked almost tie-dye. And in fact, if you did the pour and then took your the bottom of your paintbrush or whatever, you could actually make a really cool tie-dye. But it was fun. It was exciting. And like I said, keys, a base. Make sure the base is wet. Water down your glaze, but not too thin where it just pours into a mess. And be careful when you rock too much, because then it'll cover your colors. Those are the things that really help out. If you look at how they progress, cool, cooler, super cool, super, super cool, you'll start figuring out how to hold your fingers on things and how to really get some dynamics going on there. So it's really super fun. You can do that. Doesn't have to be on the eggs. But think about if you made a dinnerware set and you took that little cup and you got your pours, and I would practice on a couple pieces first to get it pouring the way you wanted it, because if you notice the progression, it got better as we went. And then you could take and do a pour like right through the middle and just do one simple little pour and it'd be gorgeous. So there you have it for tonight.